Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. I'm here with the Energy Vampires. Last time, I have dug a lot of this asteroid out. Now we're ready to load in some material. Now, this would probably be pretty, I guess, boring, and what I was going to do is just kind of fast forward through a couple points. But Cédric has a very interesting comment from last time, talking about a closed telescope with perfect radiation and perfect sight. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the most of the dupes to work on bringing in some material inside this rocket. So that's things like iron ore, fossil, lead. What else is in there? Algae. And what I'm going to do is specify this to be sweep only. Copy that across. Well, the other ones haven't been built. Yep, they will. The other thing that I've done is I went and I specified this skill for everyone. We've got Alpha still on a little bit of digging, construction for Beta. Everyone else is really focusing on strength. But getting over here to Cédric's plan or idea, I don't know if I'll do this justice, but I'll give it a try, is essentially to make an airflow tile with water. I think I actually might, whoops. I feel I want to put this right there actually. But we're going to dump water there. We'll see how this works. Slow things down for just a second. So the idea is, if I understand this correctly, we want an enclosed telescope that's going to sit above. Oh, I need this taken out. So we need a enclosed telescope that's sitting underneath this sort of U structure of airflow tiles. Then we need to dump in liquid water. Now this guy needs view all the way up to here, so we're going to make that airflow tile like that. But I need something to hold in the liquid. I think that should be fine. Do that and that. And I need to let that water spill out. Oh, don't get stuck, guys. Alright. You guys are... Let's go inside the rocket for a second. Let's take this, copy that across. Oh, right. I'm not going to get anywhere on this plan unless I actually specify stuff to be brought in. So they're going in and out of the rocket there. Let's go and connect this with some water. And I'm supposed to apparently let this flow out such that we'll get water here, here, here. Oh, I guess technically there too. And I guess this can technically be a normal tile. Alright, what is happening? The hope here is that I would get perfect radiation. It's not radiation. Perfect radiation protection right here. Currently at 100, going down to 97 as we're getting more and more water. Down to 80. In the 80s. Oh, let's not know how that normally happens. Normally that fills over like this. Strange. Very strange, actually. Okay. Weird. Normally I notice... Okay, well, what I'll try to do then is this. Alright, there is that spillover. Has that done? We still... Now we're down at the 70s for this. Unless I'm supposed to go higher. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe this was supposed to be like this. In which case, we will probably need a set of vacuum tile, or is that... Can't quite see behind it. I think it's a normal tile, but I'm just going to put this there and just be safe. This there and there. Because I think I'm supposed to let this spill over. Down to 70 anyways. Radiation level. Now we're down to 60. Oh, I think the idea is I'm supposed to go up further and further. I get it. I get it. Okay, that being the case, we're probably going to need a column. But we're able, I mean, ignore this little bit. Technically, if I dig that out, I'd have access. Interesting. Okay. And if I keep going up, and well, let's just do this until we get perfect radiation protection. So if I put an airflow tile here, of course, dupes working in this area is going to make the dupes sick. Oh, poor Alpha. Let's go look inside our rocket. We're getting stuff loaded. I'll dump this out. Let's copy this, put that there. And same thing here. And we'll let that go for a bit till we get more and more stuff inside here. And what I'll do is I'll keep raising this until I get the right value such that I would have 0 radiation. Okay, now we're down to 32. This is pretty cool. I like this setup. Down in the 20s now. Pretty sure we're going to have to do at least one more. Now we're down to 16. I have the feeling like one more of these things and we've got it. Then the other part of this, well, okay, then there's the whole, like, meteorite thing. That's this whole separate piece, I guess. But the liquid would actually prevent gases from going up, which is cool. Okay, yeah, this meteorite might actually be quite annoying to try out. But let me just put in some water over here. Let's see if we can get down to 0. So what I'm going to do is cycle to 11. There's going to be a lot of back and forth between these guys going in and out, me opening and closing these, or resetting those. So I'm just going to let this set on max. And I'll give you a couple updates on the way. Once I have enough material, we'll take back off again and go back to the home world where I have a plan of melting a rocket wall ultimately. Okay, now we're down to 11. Didn't quite get the full radiation protection. All right, we done with the meteorites interrupting this process. Okay, maybe we'll clear off our asteroid or our telescopes, solar panels. Let's clear this off too. And just for completion, let me do this, this, this. And load in some water. I'd just like to know how tall this needs to be. Idle. Oh, I see. So I have reset that. Go back over here. We are down to 6. That is mostly safe. More water being added. Okay, I did not realize the amount of water added to the radiation protection. Now we are under 5. That's nearly full. And we're down to 3. Okay, apparently we're going to have to go one more. At least one more anyway. Love this new copy command that I'm using. Alright, we'll let that go up. Now we are almost at 3, under 3. Getting close to 2.5. I have a feeling like we're going to have to do another one to get full protection. Right, let's do it then. This is interesting. I think this would be worth doing in the future because I would have full access to the telescope. I mean, I don't in this case, but I'm just experimenting. But in the future, when I build one of these, this is how I want to do it. I like this. Using water that the telescope can see through, but giving myself radiation protection. And the dupe is going to be considered to be here. So technically still, yes, the dupe is going to be exposed to radiation protection while they're running in. But the amount of time they spend running in this little section is minimal compared to the time that they sit and look and look and look. This location, let's have a look. Boom. There it is. Okay, note to self. What do we have? 7? 7 tiles of water. That one, the top one is not completely full. That being the case, let's stop sending in water. Cut that right there. All right, and like I said, I will just let these guys run up and down for a bit until I get a bunch of material loaded in here, and then we'll take off back to the homeworld. I have some bad news. We have Alpha here who has radiation vomiting. That is no doubt. Ironically, we're trying to give radiation protection to the telescope. I don't actually need the telescope because I already did the analysis, but I want to learn how to do this. Well, now I do, but now I've got a sick dupe. The problem with that is the fact that they are currently wearing a suit. So now they have a soiled suit, which is going to give them 40% stress. So they can't wear that anymore. They're also in a zone where, yeah, they can't be anymore. So now I have to restrict access to areas that are too hot for this dude because they're going to have to take their suit off. So we'll, whoops. Cancel that. We'll put in control access both here and here. It looks like to me would be good. We will tell Alpha, come up, maybe stand over here, take off their suit. Okay. Unequipped suit. So at least now, they still have major radiation sickness, but, oh, I should have given them rad pill. Anyway, whoops. My bad there. A little bit. Oh, gunk. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was expecting fluid water. Forgot gunk. Bionic tubes. So mop that up. I'm probably going to forget this. If I don't, we'll take this inside our rocket. Like that. Just curious. Let's go back to the homeworld. Where we've got these guys. Do we have any reed fiber? Almost looks like no, which is a little disappointing. Reproduction, that's nice, but what I really care about is skill growth. Unless that's being stored somewhere. Hold on. Maybe that's the case. Reed fiber, nice. Okay. when we get back, I guess we'll do a repair. We'll need a little bit of reed fiber for that. Okay. What else? I'm wondering if the other dupes would go in. It's a very small amount of time that they're going to be exposed to radiation. Perhaps they'll be fine. Hope they'll be fine. Right down here, I mean, it's not terrible, but I feel like we could do better on that little block. Maybe we'll put in 2 tiles there and there. Also see a little bit of iron we could sneak away. Just curious what that did for us. That still have some. I don't think that's really a huge problem, but... Oh, scalding. Who's... Oh, yeah, okay, Alpha. Sorry, Alpha. I forgot to tell you, don't go down there, please. Come back up. Run. Okay. Alpha. At least for now, you're not allowed to go in here and here. And I'll open this and open that. And then we'll see if there's, at least if there's no interruptions. I'll let this run for a bit until we got tons of stuff brought into our rocket. We just took a little moment to destroy some of these liquid reservoirs and instruct the dupes to load both water and some crude oil onto our rocket. So I have to pause my operation of loading in material because looking at the oxygen situation, well, not so much the oxygen, but the carbon dioxide situation and natural gas for that matter, there's a lot. Trying to think to myself, do I bother saving this or just dump it out in space? I'm opting just to dump it out in space. So what we're going to do, simple pump down the bottom with automation, look for non-oxygen, and we'll build a pipe all the way up and vent gas right down there. I guess some of this is coming from these coal generators constantly going off. But of course we've got natural gas which is coming from this oil well. So for over here we'll look for oxygen. Maybe we'll quit this system. We've got just concentrating on transporting what we've got. Idle. Oh, that probably means that I need to redo. No. Unless we have everything. I don't believe that's true. Maybe it is. Hold on. I can verify by looking for lead, for instance. We've got lead, guys. Unless it's lead somewhere. Strange. So what I've done is I'm looking for a piece of lead. Just going to make sure that's selected. Okay. It may simply just been that I didn't have the right stuff selected, so we'll try again. It's the lead fossil on oil biomes. But it wasn't just that. I also wanted algae, though. It looks like they may have simply just brought in a lot of the other stuff. Alright, so I'll go over add algae and the other stuff. Just so I can see how close I am to having this ready to go. Here's some more crude oil. Cycle 217, and I realize that I haven't brought in the copper ore, which is something I definitely want, so bringing that in now. Looks like we've got all the iron, most of the iron ore, most of the lead. We don't have to get every single piece, but copper ore, there's 50 tons of it here. I would like the majority of that brought into our rocket. So another comment Cédric said was about loading liquid in. What I'm doing is creating and destroying a bunch of these liquid reservoirs. But another way of doing it is building a rocket, a temporary rocket putting a bunch of water, possibly even with an infinite storage of liquid, then destroying that rocket. I'm already at the point where I've got most of my liquids, but I will definitely be employing that strategy sometime in the future. I'm just looking at the comments. One of Disease says that this is now on my home asteroid. And they believe that the power potential for these two steam turbines over here is probably going to last 5,000 cycles. 5,000! Amazing if that's so. That's yeah, because essentially the way I'm doing this is minimizing the amount of water going in. It's not continually running. It's only running when it's needed. So that's really cool. I mean, that's a bit of good news. The other thing is quite a couple, some mentioned, oh yeah, they were mentioned about the solar panels on top of a rocket that I'm going to have a melted wall. Definitely going to be doing that, absolutely. Also see these critters running around. I'm going to remind myself to bring those into our rocket as well before we take off. Oh, right, and forgot to mention, I'm now loading in sand and dirt as well as coal. So there's that. We're going to start the process of adding in our critters. So we will wrangle, well, I'll just say everything. 40, make that high priority. I've given this skill for Gamma to be able to do critter ranching. Let me just go to their priorities. Alpha, let's ranching up this for you. And we'll just go and wrangle all these little oil slickers. Oh, they're eggs too. Almost forgot. Any over here? See you here. One over here. Some down here. Now, I don't want any of the eggs to be in the bin for very long, so what I'm going to do is we'll specify all critter eggs to be brought in here. So go down to the bottom and specify, oh, hold on. Okay, so I've specified eggs here. Now let me just temporarily make that a really high priority. Bump speed up a bit. Just to make sure that that doesn't trap any eggs here. Give another second or two for maybe eggs to be collected from around. Looks like they're picking up seeds, which is, I'm going to say that is good. Okay, what bin did, well, was there just really one egg? Oh, fair enough. Well, we've got that egg. We've got a few critters. So once the critters are all in, then I'll ask for some of the dupe-specific stuff, such as the gear bomb, both the empty and full eco power banks, and all the boosters, and then we'll head back to the homeworld. So indicating that I want all boosters, microchips, gear bomb, all of that brought in here. Delta, there must be something for you to do in this perspective. Oh, hold on, we should, oh yeah. Okay, I guess we're storing, anything that I'm storing here better not be. Wait, why do we have idle dupes? Oh, wait, I know. I need to get rid of this. Let's go have a look and see if that fixes things. There we go. Alright, a little more, okay, that's the gear bomb. We can mop that up. Not that I probably should not be worried about that. But all the boosters, definitely want the boosters. Definitely want, we've got tons of boosters, tons of eco power banks. Still have about 4 tons. Actually, probably smart to keep a bit of copper here because I'll be back. We'll probably wanting to do a little bit of construction. I see some empty eco power banks here, guys. There we are, picking these guys up. So, no more eco power banks. And I'm assuming all the empty ones are there. Okay, I think we are ready to go. Just before, I'll do a little double check, and then maybe we'll take off. So, two problems going on. First of all, we have not been producing oxygen. That's because our water line here was mixed. So I want to connect this guy with this. Let's do a little disconnection right there. And the other thing is, I think I canceled when I canceled the mass selection. I didn't select these guys, or unselected these guys, so we'll re-wrangle or get those wrangled into the rocket. And just doing a little destruction of some of the random stuff. I guess this was to keep the oil slickers from getting out, so that door's not going to be needed anymore. Okay, so critically we've got this water going in. Hold on. Why? Oh no, power. Ah, whoops. Okay, get that fixed up. Push in 1 and 2, 3, 4, and we've got water running. So we'll have more oxygen going. Now we may just be down, unfortunately, to 1 dupe, doing some wrangling. So we just produced 2 ranching boosters, so I'll give one of these guys to Zeta. It's a little confusing where I don't believe I can actually get the dupes to put something on if they're not in the rocket where a booster happens to be. For instance, if I want to give that to Delta, no, I can't. Without, as far as I know, getting Delta actually to move to the rocket. So let's take Delta, for instance. Get them to move to Mega Fang. Do they run in, run out really quickly? Oh, Deltas. Okay, maybe they're not the dupe to try to give this to. What about you, Beta? Where are you? Vitals. Beta. Move to the rocket. And if I click on skills, Beta. Let's take out construction ranching booster. Okay, so now I've got at least 3 dupes that can do some wrangling. Hopefully that's going to speed this up a bit. And did I give... who's the one that doesn't have their suit anymore? If I give it to one of those that's not the smartest. 2 dupes down here. I did. I gave it to Alpha. Okay. Which doesn't have their suit on, so I'm going to make them take that off, and Delta will swap that. Let's just make sure that, there we are. Delta picking that up. Just realized that I restricted everyone, not just Alpha, from going in here, so we fixed that. That explains why I wasn't doing any wrangling over here. Or destruction, for that matter. Oh, hello. Let's wrangle you. And I guess we forgot you. I don't want to make the mistake of forgetting to put in the oxygen making system before we leave, so we'll do this destruction. Take a quick moment to go over what we brought in. Over 100 tons of water. Almost 175 tons of sand, lead almost 200 tons, iron ore 66 tons, fossil 76, dirt 195, and crude oil 41, and algae 68. Okay, make the oxygen system now, and maybe add in a little bit more radiation protection for the journey home, if I can actually use my keyboard. There we go. So we'll put in our oxygen system, power production battery, and we'll be able to burn some... hold on. Gamma! Oops. Okay, we'll get Gamma to go down here. And build that like that. Yes, we've got our oxygen system going. That being the case, I think we are ready to take off and go back to the home world and get up to some projects there. Let's just check that everyone except for Epsilon, which is not here, is selected. So we'll crew this. Select the home location. Any final things? I don't think so. I think we are ready. Acknowledge the warnings. Everyone get on. Fuel. Oh, right. Of course. Someone needs to have the piloting skills. We've got 3 of those. We'll take that off. Put in our boosters for piloting. Was that the... Yeah, that was the issue. So it's going to be about under 200 seconds. Let's just check to make sure everything is good over here. First thing I would want to unpack is all the critters. I don't want them to become crowded. They're crowded and crammed at the moment for the journey. Dupes probably kind of feel the same way. Okay, so now we are landing. Nice. So, okay, of all the places, don't stand out where you'll get sick. Though the one dupe that I wouldn't mind getting sick would be Alpha, just because they're not wearing a suit at the moment. But we should see production of this going on. Make that high priority so we can put that suit back on. Alpha critical power level. We should probably get a bunch of batteries sent out of the rocket. That might actually be a higher priority. What was this? This is for iron ore. Let's do an unloading of our batteries. Okay. Uh-oh. Let's just validate that we've got you as a level 9. Can we do? They seem to be confused. Or it's just so far when they realize they need a battery, if they have to go all the way up to the rocket. I've noticed that causes them issues. Okay, so now we've got these outside of the rocket, but I think it would be a little bit smarter. That is for... I think it would be a little bit smarter to bring them a little bit further down. We'll do that. Dump that on the floor. So eco power banks being brought in here. We'll do the same thing with boosters. We want to have all the boosters available. And then I will go... Oh, wow. Oh, no. All our critters. I was controlling critter access. Whoops. Okay, so I've got a lot of critter access work to do. Oh, yeah, you guys don't like that because it's cold over there. Oh. Okay. Nuts. That was a bad move at one point. Did not notice that happened. Okay, I'll do a little bit of cleanup and I'll be back. So this was not the only critter issue that was going on. I think I'm going to have to get every dupe to be able to have one of these critter ranching things. Make at least one more for now. But yeah, we'll wrangle all these guys, get them over here. But the other thing that was going wrong is I had an incubator here. I already destroyed it. But I was intending to have eggs left in here, and obviously the dupes were taking them away. The other thing is there's a glossy Draco. We'll move that guy down here, and I'm going to move some of these Dracos here, which don't really have a food source, up here. So yeah, a lot of critter angling over the next little bit. The other thing I'm going to try to do is make these guys stay in one spot rather than be able to go up and down, up and down. Are they going to have an issue accessing the crude oil or carbon dioxide at that location, though? I don't know. I feel like the amount of crude at this location won't be an issue for them. In particular, let's take this out so it's always going to be really low. Right now, I see that we've got a vacuum, so clearly they're consuming the carbon dioxide that we're throwing in. Let me also click on this to be able to see. Oh, we're at 38. I wish that there was a much higher limit than 40. Oh, this is going to be painful, isn't it? I'm going to see if I can avoid a little bit of pain. By pain, I mean individually selecting these guys for how many ever there are and dropping them right here. So let's cancel that. Let's get rid of this. Essentially, let's make 2 rooms. And each room will have 0 critters. So if I set this to 40, then I can wrangle, bring them all in here between these 2. Destroy this so they all drop, and I'll store them here. That's also probably good because it's a little cool at this location. So that might be a little bit more appropriate for them. Okay, Beta. Nice job. Alright, so this is going to be our hatches. Hatchling will also be for, I don't know that they're sage. Not the slickers. Sweetles, there we are. Up to 40, make that priority. And we will do a big old wrangle. Let me just check the skills. Zeta. We've got ranching. Gamma will give you that. Epsilon already has one, so everyone except for Alpha currently has the wrangling skill. Let's create one more. Ranching. Take this, copy this, send that down there. Might be quite nice to be able to do this. Oh yeah, it would definitely be way nicer to be able to do this over here. But this is in a room. This is by design to have this. There's only 4 critters. The room must be divided. Oh, I see where it's divided. Okay. Well, that being the case, that actually works really nice. This is going to be for long hair, any of the slicker types, essentially. Up to 40. Make that priority. Let's go in the rocket. Select all these guys. Take that out. Take that out. And I'll let this play out until we move as many critters as we can. I see a few eggs. I'll clean those up after. Looks like the critter drop-off here is taking damage. Didn't even consider that. It's in a hot area. That's a little annoying. Because I don't think I have golden amalgam, unless I can... Oh, steel. Oh, there's just enough of it. Nice. Okay. I guess the alternate way, if I didn't have that, I could build it here and do the same thing, get them to drop after, but never mind, I've got steel. So again, long hair. And the slickers, make that high priority up to 40. And I think I'm going to stop moving eggs. I'll have them move via a bin after. Just have to make sure that we don't exceed our 26 over here. Just 11. I think we're going to be okay. Let's go check the rocket. Wrangling going on over... Oh, the empty eco power banks. Forget about those. Okay, we'll move some critters first, and then I'll get to that. We are looking pretty good, though. Just these 2 guys left over here. Take this out. We'll put it in a bin for eggs. we'll specify. Now, this is going to be sweep only because I don't want to pick up any of the tame. That's critter eggs. Make that higher priority, and then we'll do a sweep in this region for the few eggs that were around here. There's a grub egg. See another sweetle egg, guys. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh. Really? So we've got a worn suit, right? No. Well, where did our... I was expecting a suit to be patched. Okay, well, let's come back to that after. Mystery there. Okay, so we'll destroy this. Let's destroy that so those critters can merge to this one spot. Now, I don't want these guys to be confined, crammed, so we're going to open this up. No point in having that anymore, I don't think. I'll keep the doors there. That might just be a reminder for me not to connect things like I did over there. Whoops. Okay. And these guys are not moving. Though that we have that spot available for them. $11 critters. Okay, they're slowly making their way. I think we got every slicker out except you. Are you stuck in the wall? I can't tell. Are they going to be able to get this guy out? If not, I guess that'll be good enough. Bizarre. Okay, if you wrangle. Okay. They are no longer there. Okay, I'm going to unload some stuff such as the gear bombs, the empty eco power banks, etc. I'm going to temporarily destroy this power bank charger to bring in the empties just so that the auto sweeper can be able to access. Got masking for boosters and gear bomb to be brought in, these two guys. Oh. Let's send you up here. Make sure that's built on there, because the auto sweeper can only access the left side of that. And this is going to be for my empty. So, in priority order, generally I'm thinking I've done this right. Critters first. They can become crammed. And then the power, well, maybe the actual batteries first, and then the critters, and then kind of the support system, and then everything else. All right, so we've got a bunch of empties there. We can destruct this. Let me replace this before I forget. And then we'll do some other general rocket emptying. I'm going to construct some bins here for unloading. So in the bin, I'm going to say everything sweep. Copy that across the board. Let's go to our rocket, and we will mark everything to be brought out. That across these remaining bins. Now that's going to take care of everything except for what... Oh, we forgot, or you got dropped apparently. Wrangle this little guy. I don't think he's going to be able to consume carbon dioxide, but if he did, well, he would output some crude oil. If he outputted crude oil right here, that could be really bad. Though, if he had access to carbon dioxide to be able to do that, we'd have issues anyways, so I guess there's that. All right, I'll let this be unloaded, and then we'll, I don't know what we're going to go up to after, but we'll figure it out after. So while this is unloading, I'm curious about what happened to that worn Atmos suit. If I look over here, TM, it was not left here. Let's look in the rocket. It's not inside the rocket. Pretty sure I had the dupes put it in there. And finally, we don't have, oh, wait. What's that? Atmos suit. Oh, it was. I didn't know I had a bin location. Let's destroy that bin first of all. Okay, that explains it. Can I just get Alpha simply to put this on? Nice. Okay. All right. That's that mystery. I'll continue this and maybe get up to another project. See, one of these slickers ended up here. I don't know if that's just because they escaped. I'm assuming that the dupe that was trying to drop that off just went on break just as they were trying to. And they kind of got escaped that way. I'll come back here every so often to make sure that we're not continually getting dupes escaping. Ever since I destroyed that tile, I'm a little bit worried. Quick little project here. This will help with the stress situation. Not that we currently have stress in the moment, but we're going to put carpeted tiles on all the beds across that way. Also, I don't expect that we're going to need to do this often. I hope that's the case. Radiation poisoning could prove different, but that being the case, I don't think we need to have reed fiber stored there anymore. So that's 4 of our 6 cots. Let's just make this a priority to get these last 2 done. Okay, let's just verify that we got tickled toesies, giving us more stress relief. Excellent. So next episode, at least what I think so far, is I'm going to have the rocket melting happening. I need this big area here, so I need to get rid of these tiles. But they're giving radiation protection, so what I'd like to do is to install some tiling further up here. We're going to have to get some ladders going across. And then I'm going to slowly do this. I don't want the dupes currently getting sick in with their suit. Achievement, just curious what that random achievement was all about. Easy live, have auto sweepers complete more deliveries than the dupes go. The other thing I'm thinking of doing, and maybe we'll need tiling down here, is kind of using Cédric's idea of basically having a temp rocket. If I destroy this, I mean, I'm just going to lose a few pipes. Construction, it's easy to do, but I could either individually select all this crude oil and all this water. I don't know why I had this dropped off separate locations, but anyways, that makes it a little bit annoying to take out. But if I destroy it, it's going to drop as a single thing that I can select to have the dupes take those 2 things and send them to the central area of our base. So let's carry on. Oh, right. I don't think might be of value to go to priorities. Click here. Hit enable proximity. Continue making our way across. So this layer here should give us perfect radiation protection to here, but then we're gonna have to go down a little bit, looks like. All right, I'll do a little bit of construction. I'll be back when I've got more progress. Carrying on, this time going further down on this side. Need another layer. Okay, so another layer. This should be it for that. And again, I'll be done, or I'll be back when this little section is completely sealing this off from radiation. Alright, just 2 tiles left. So what I'm going to do is go down here, and we're going to extend this ladder up and remove all this for construction project next time. Extend this ladder further up. Okay, so anything we build around here is going to have our radiation protection, which is what I want. Disassemble that. Continue on taking this down. That. Maybe I'll keep this little wall. I think this wall was for some of the carbon dioxide, avoiding going down here, though. Maybe it would make a little more sense to do this and just take that out. That, and I think that is good then. We're going to be set up for next time. Do some work in there, which I'm very excited to do. Let's do this trick of destroying this. Oh, I didn't even know you were there. I guess, would that be a way, if that critter did get stuck in the tile, maybe saving them? So essentially what I have now, I've got all the material, including water. We'll bring that, just through that, maybe right there. And, oh. Okay, that did not work as nice as I had hoped. Send some crude oil over there. Mark all this to be brought into these various bins. I don't see anyone going after this critter. My assumption is there's no platform right there. So if I make a platform simply by making a rocket, will that change things? Because I assume a dupe has to stand where the critter is. Like, since no one can stand on top of this, this critter's not being wrangled. Maybe. Oh, okay, that allows the critter to move. Okay, now I'll have to cancel relocate. How come there's no wrangle button? Is that because I'm follow cam? I didn't know you could follow a critter. But why is there no wrangle button? Okay, essentially what I want the dupes to do, and they don't seem to be doing it for some reason. Relocate priority 9. And what happened here? Copper. Oh, that... I don't know why destroying that door resulted in copper. That's bizarre. That's really bizarre. Okay, critter on the move. Okay, I'll be back after these dupes unload. I think that is all the crittering movement, etc. stuff. We'll let the dupes move stuff into bins. Just debating, do I bother moving this or not? And it occurs to me, if I take this rocket off, I could very well heat all this stuff up, which I don't want. So yeah, I think I'm going to let this run for a bit. and let the dupes clean things up before I go on to the next episode later on. I don't know why, but it feels like taking the unloading, it takes longer than loading, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm making plastic. Before I continue on any further, why wouldn't we make plastic upgrade here? Okay, realizing maybe I shouldn't have done that. Do another upgrade with plastic right here. We'll see how far we can go down. Like that. And that. And we can maybe almost reach. Oh, we can reach here. And go down like that, because that's going to make it really easy to get, well, easier to go up, faster to go up anyways. So some of that plastic being installed. And once we get more plastic, I'll go. Almost feel like I probably should have done the main base first. That's okay. I do have a project of melting this rocket wall. The dupes are going to have to go up here quite often, so. Plus this little bit. So every now and then just emptying that, doing that. So we got a nice plastic ladder going up here. Got a nice plastic ladder going down there. Installing more plastic here. Really like the fact that you can build a ladder on top of a ladder. Remember at one point you couldn't do that? That was annoying. Still tons of material here. Okay. So that at least gives me my plastic ladder up to this point. I see a little bit more plastic. That must be because we had these guys sheared. So I'll continue on a little bit further down. I actually say, okay. Well, there's that anyway. Okay, more unloading. I am finally starting to see the bottom of this whole massive pile of stuffs. A little bit more dirt. I don't know why I brought that much dirt. I feel like that's not going to be necessary, but I brought it anyway. Now that I've got it here, I want it out of the way. Let's... Oh, I don't know why that wasn't selected. But anyways, that is it. Okay. I must admit, let's take you... They do a kind of a sloppy job of moving critters sometimes. But yeah, I must admit, I kind of thought when I started this, I'm going to simply pack up material, get back to the homeworld, and get up to a significant project. But it takes a lot longer. I guess this more comes down to the fact that I probably just asked too much to be brought into the rocket, but I brought it in nonetheless. It's here. And now that it's here, the question is, where do I go next? Well, I mentioned that the rocket that I want to melt the wall, and then build the inside for design for Bionic dupes. The other thing I want to do won't be next time; it'll be like a further on along thing. But I want to learn. I believe I can control this from my asteroid here. I'm pretty sure I've never done that, so that'll be one of my goals along some point in this playthrough. Anyways, this is Jared playing Oxygen next. Oxygen not included. Hopefully I'll see you next time.